Hello guys, and welcome to a new Steel Division video today by me, Vulcan. Today I have for you Jackson's Toy versus Gallo Neal in the second round of the lower bracket in the second Asia Pacific tournament. This is Sainte-Mère-Église, and today we're going to be seeing Jackson's Toy bring out the 1st SSB and Gallo Neal the 12th SS Panzer. Now this first SSB is definitely a division that I haven't seen very often. I don't think it's very competitive compared to other divisions. However, it does have access to M4 double Ds in Phase A, so I'd like to see those come out from Jackson's Toy. He also has access to Centaurs, so the Phase A can be pretty powerful from the first SSB, but they will fall off a lot into Phase B, especially against the 12th SS Panzer. So yeah, really hoping to see an M4 out of Jackson's Toy, because that's really going to be what he needs to take care of the 20mm autocannons that are coming out of Gallo Neal. He's already got the 259 down there, he's got a 222 in the top side, and he's also got the 258s and the half tracks as well. And all of those can provide threat to the Phase A infantry that Jackson's Toy has. The other reason to bring M4s as the first SSB is because you don't have any AT guns in Phase A and B. You're relying solely on the tank busters, and they aren't the most reliable. Let's just put it that way. They may have 2 Piats instead of 1, but that's just 2 more chances that they miss than just 1. So an M4 is very necessary indeed, otherwise it could lead to Jackson falling prey to those 20mm relatively easily. Now let's have a quick talk about how these players got here. Gallo Neal did defeat Charge previously in round 1 of the lower bracket. Prior to that was defeated by Q2521, who is the reigning champion of this tournament. So Gallo Neal still in a pretty good spot in terms of showing off his skill. Jackson's Toy, however, was defeated by Protoss Soccer in his first game, which was in round 2 of the upper bracket. He then defeated Blaisflower in round 1 of the lower bracket, but there wasn't a replay for that, and now has found his way against Gallo Neal. So, I don't know, I think Jackson's Toy, could put up a good fight here for sure, but I'm definitely not sure about this deployment. There needs to be an M4 in here. That's the way I see it. Otherwise, the outcome could be pretty obvious. Up on this top side, 258 has joined the 222. I'm still not convinced about Gallo Neal's love for these 258s. This is the second time now I think I've seen the 12th SSS played by him, and he's brought in 258s instead of other units like these 259s, and I feel like 259s are just better and they're cheaper. A 259 is 35 points, has the 20mm autocannon, and the 258 is 45 points and has the 9HE main gun. And yes, the 258 can engage at a longer range, but the 259 just has the machine gun and the same HE on its 20mm. So yeah, I'm not convinced about the 258s. I feel like they're maybe overpriced for what they do, and they are quite vulnerable to things like this Humber Mark III, for example, due to their lower armor. Whereas the 259 can fight back against a Humber quite easily with its 4 AP. So yeah, just things to worry about. But there we go. Jackson's Toy, the game's going to be starting. Doesn't seem to have many forces. I don't know if this is his 500 points. It can't be. I mean, that's a Humber Mark III. That's 40 points. 2-star Humber Mark III with a 20-point recon squad, so that's 60 points. We've got a command infantry in there. We've got a couple units of commando assaults, I'm going to assume. Commando 2-inch mortar. Then we've got tank busters and the Willies going down to the bottom side. I'm just not convinced that's 500 points. Either way, Gallo Neal going to be rolling up with the Panzergrenz, gets himself right into position straight away, gets the crew knockout onto the Humber Mark III. 258 and the 259 both going to be aiming at the Humber Mark III. Up on this top side, 222 getting into position, 251 pushing up with the half track on the bottom side. Same deal, 251's dropped out the speed troop, and the 251 1 has also dropped out the Panzer Grenadiers. So all that Gallo really needs to do to take care of tank busters is make sure that his infantry is moving in front of his fire support. So in the case of the bottom side, it's making sure his infantry is running in front of the half tracks, and in the mid it's about making sure that the Panzer Grens are in front of the 259. And that's where the points went into that Hellcat. Hellcat brought in by Jackson's Toy, that's where the rest of the points were. And they hit the 222 here, failed to find the kill though. Humber Mark III going to be joining the troops on that top side. I would still very much like to see an M4 Double D, and I have no idea why Hellcat was preferred over the M4. But either way, let's see what work Jackson's Toy can do. He's brought up Fusilier Marines, and he does have one squad of Commando Assaults. At close range, those Commando Assaults can do a lot of damage, and it seems as though the mortar support from this 2-inch mortar is helping Jackson's Toy win out the engagement against the Panzer Grens. But Gallo-Neil's now just looking to get the shot off with the 259, get the 20mm on target, because the Fusilier Marines in Phase A don't have any AT. So it's really reliant on whether or not Jackson's Toy has a tank buster unit in the town, which he doesn't just yet, but there is one reinforcing. Humber Mark III is moving up down here. That's going to have line of sight onto the 258. Can Jackson's Toy stop that though and find the kill? I feel like he should do. It's 3-star Humber Mark III. If that was basically stood still, it would have killed off that 258 almost instantly, but finds the kill anyway. Panzer Grenadiers now moving forwards onto the Fusilier Marines after the 259 does find line of sight. Going to be trying to rip to shreds the Commando leader now. Commando tank busters, are they in range? I'm not sure they are. Panzer Grens kill off the half track there, and Panzer Grens kill off the Humber as well. And with the pin of the command infantry there, well, things falling apart in the town. Things have also fallen apart in the bottom, as the recon and the tank buster squad both have been found down here. Tank busters are falling back. Loads of ground made by Gallo-Neil across the board already. Tank busters have been found. Gallo-Neil knows to keep his 259 back. Jackson's Toy going to be running away with these tank busters as well, doesn't want those to be killed. And in the top side, same deal, tank busters and recon were found, and it's just going to open things up. Pack 38 took out the Humber Mark III. Things not looking good at all for Jackson's Toy. Where are the M4 Double Ds? That is the question. An M4 could kill off all of these units on the top side. It could kill the Pack 38. Pack 38 can't penetrate an M4 at max range. The 251s would be dead. The 258 would be dead. That would leave no fire support for any of this infantry, which he could then run down. Same deal on the bottom side. Just 2 half tracks here supporting all this infantry. Only takes a couple, like a 1 unit of Commando Fusilier Marines to reveal the Panzer Grens, bring in an M4, kill everything off. But there we do see behind the town, the mortar is destroyed. Commando tank busters still in a pretty good position here to possibly take out the half track and the 259 in the future. But things really not going well for Jackson's Toy across the entire map. Gallo-Neil knows exactly what he's doing. Commando tank busters have found their way up towards his 251-1, but I was going to say, if that second volley of Pierce didn't kill that half track, that would show exactly what I mean when it comes to Commando tank busters. They can be extremely unreliable, even though they have 2 Piats. Finally, a Sherman 2 Double D is going to be on the way. It looks like the Sherman 2 from the first SSB only has 9 front armor, so a Pack 38 can actually kill that. But I'm very unsure about the use of this Hellcat. Second time we've seen it come in, hit the 251 at the bottom side here, didn't get the kill. So Sherman, where does Jackson's Toy need to use this? He could probably put one of the Shermans on the bottom side. I feel like he could bring in one to the bottom, one to the top. Maybe take ground either side of the town, like backed up by a Centaur for example, and then push more heavily in the town later on with his infantry, because his infantry is very strong. So you don't have to focus on the town straight away, as you can pretty much win that as the game goes on. But there we see the Commando Assaults finally die, or surrender, to the Panzer Grens and that half-track combo. German 2 going to be engaging the Panzer Grens. There is a Pack 38 sneaking up here from Gallo Neal. This Sherman 2 could find itself in a pretty difficult spot. Mortar fire needs to come down as soon as possible. And it is. Nicely done by Jackson's Toy, making sure he gets that on target straight away. Pinning down the Pack 38, neutralizing that as a threat. So having these mortars in here to support the Sherman 2, definitely a good idea now that the Sherman 2s have a little bit lower armor versus the Pack 38. On that top side, commando tank busters do take out the command infantry there. So that's a pretty good job done. But Gallo Neal still holding the land, 61% territory in his favour. And this Sherman 2 now arriving just that little bit too late. It can clean up the 259s, but what it can't do is take care of the position that Gallo Neal has, and it's only going to take some more Panzergrens to arrive in this town to make it difficult to push up onto this town for Jackson's Toy. 2-inch mortar there, finds itself under fire, smokes off the line of sight. Sherman 2 does find a shot onto the 259, forces that to fall back with the 50 cal. Now going to be supporting against these Panzergrens that don't have any command with them actually. So that could be an easy surrender, and it most certainly is. But I feel like Gallo Neal really has this under control. Another Sherman 2 Double D now coming in from Jackson's Toy. It seems like he's just realised he needs these too late. And look at that territory swing. With just recon surviving on this top side, +3 territory lead for Gallo Neal. This could be over quicker than his first game in the lower bracket. Really done a fantastic job. 251 takes out the mortar there. Sherman 2 rolls up, takes out a 259. We'll be able to clean up the rest of the half tracks as well. There we go, another half track down. And this is what he needed to do early on. He stopped the +3, got the Sherman 2 in. Now he needs to make sure that he can see where this Pack 38 is. And he can, thanks to his recon. So he's getting the shots in at max range, which is a good shout. He's also bringing in the mortar, which is exactly what I was mentioning, in that he needs to have the fire support with the mortar here in order to cover his tank. That Hellcat also helps actually pin down the Pack 38. And then after the Pack 38's gone, there's nothing to stop that M4 from just continuing to push up. Sherman 2 there. Going for the kills now onto the 251-17 and the 258. One more M4 for the bottom side would be absolutely perfect. So Commando 2-inch mortar in position. Sherman 2 going to be opening up onto those Panzergrens. Definitely melting them very quickly with the machine guns and the 50 cals. The 50 cals can fire away. That Pack 38, will it find the kill? No. I was going to say, that Pack 38 definitely had a chance there, being so close to penetrate the Sherman 2, but did not find the kill. Now the M4 Double D's really making a big push forwards. Seafire. Going to be flying overhead. Giving some recon information to Jackson's Toy. Let's see what he can see.
Unspotted. Prepare to fight.
Just 251-17s, 251-9s. You can see all the half tracks. These Panzergrens though, still causing a salient that's providing a lot of ground. Sherman 2 up here, cleaning up those Panzergrens. This could easily swing back in favour of Jackson's Toy. He just needs to make sure that he gets even more of these Sherman 2s in. Because Gallo Neal isn't investing in the Firefly. He's going to be investing in more AT guns. Maybe Gallo Neal can do a lot of work with these Pack 38s again. We've seen him do that in the past. In the town, Commando Assaults easily making short work of Panzer Grenadiers. Those Panzer Grenadiers opening up onto Commando Leader in the town. These Commando Assault do have another 20 HE power grenade. They are going to use it on those Panzergrens. Didn't need to though. And here comes a machine gun. We've also got a Centaur 4 on the way. Now I'm not sure if Jackson's toy necessarily has 4 Sherman 2s in Phase A. There's a very strong possibility that he only has 2 in Phase A, and then has Shermans in Phase B and Churchills in Phase C, because I think that's a very common setup with the first SSB. But we have just moved into Phase B, so having a Sherman 5 come in would be a good shout right now. That's for sure. Hellcat going to be trying to pin the 259 here, and will do so quite easily. But look how close these Panzergrens are to the Sherman Double D. This could be a crucial mistake from Jackson's toy. He completely neglected to see where this Panzergren squad was. And the second Panzerfaust was allowed to fire. Jackson's toy did not reverse the M4 in time. And that is devastating. The other M4 going down. Pack 38 got into position and did the job. And just as I was saying, could Gallo Neal use the Pack 38s as effectively as he has done previously? And the answer is yes. He gets the Pack 38 into the perfect position to side shot the M4. Does the job. C-Fire L3 going to be flying about. Not sure if it's going to be able to duel very well with the ME109 G6R6 due to the amount of anti-air that Gallo Neal has invested upon already. He's got 3 of these 251-17s. And here goes the engagement. C-Fire is going to be forced to fall back. There is no AA for Jackson's toy just yet. But I feel like the speed of the C-Fire L3 should allow it to get away. Another C-Fire brought in. That's now again going to fly over AA. And yeah, I think that's just going to fall in favour of Gallo Neal. C-Fire was told to fall back. Not quite at the right time though. ME109 finds the kill. So Jackson's toy just invested in that fighter. Had it shot down immediately. That is 100 plus points down the drain. Like 125 points just gone. Which otherwise could have been invested in a tank or some infantry, and that's left him very dry on the ground. Only a couple of squads of recon on the top side, with these Fusilier Marines and Commander Leader holding the line there. On the bottom side it's the same deal, couple of Fusilier Marines, and Jackson's toy is going to surrender after 13 minutes and 58 seconds. Gallo Neal finding the victory again in order to move on to round 3 of the lower bracket. Really tearing things up in the lower bracket, that's for sure. 885 kills to 555 losses for Gallo Neal. Fantastic job. Jackson's toy not purchasing M4 double Ds at the start of the game, I felt really killed his chances. Because they are pretty much the only unit that I feel is needed at the start of the game from the first SSB in order to stay relevant in the game. You can't just rely solely on infantry, it doesn't work. Because you don't have the substance, you don't have the AT that you need to kill off the 20mm autocannons that the 12th SS will be throwing at you. And that was the mistake that Jackson made, and well, it went too far in Gallo Neal's favour, and there wasn't really much coming back from that, I don't think. Commando Tank Buster did find a kill onto the SBW-222 and the 251-1. Sherman 2s found kills onto the 259 and the 251-1s as well. That Sherman 2, when it sort of rolled up to the town there and cleaned up those 3 units, one after the other, that was the effectiveness that I hoped to see in the top side and the bottom side of the map at the start of the game. But unfortunately we didn't see it come through. Commando Assaults, of course, getting plenty of kills in their favour due to them being so damn good. In terms of losses though, yeah, the 259 early on just did so much work. There wasn't really enough fire support to protect the infantry that Jackson invested in the top and bottom side. Like he pretty much purchased a Hellcat and then had the recon and tank busters in the top and bottom, and then he got overran by Panzergrens and the half tracks and then the 20mm so easily, and then there was nothing like else there to support. If the cash that was spent on the Hellcat was instead spent on an M4, things could have been very different in this game, that's for sure. Jackson's toy would have stabilized a lot better. and maybe had a much better chance in the game. But Gallo Neal, playing it well, found the victory, and good job, moves on to the third round of the lower bracket. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this though. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.